perfection. The other thing is this, and I'm guilty of this. I know that many of us may be, quote unquote, what they call perfectionists. You want everything to be perfect. And typically what I found is that when you want everything to be perfect, nothing is going to turn out to be perfect, because nothing actually is perfect in life. Life is flawed, and so if life is flawed, then people are flawed, then no one is going to be perfect. So because of the fact that you have to allow yourself to really replace that being perfectness with understanding that you have permission to be human. We all make mistakes. I'm not saying to repeatedly make them over and over and over again, but we all make mistakes, and there's going to be some times when you're not going to have to be, perfect Patty or perfect Pat. There's going to be situations where you're going to be stretched a little bit, and you may fall short. And you know what? It's okay. And it's going to allow you to really get through, because typically some people are afraid of even starting because they think they're going to fail. And that is also a part of procrastination. So they're so worried about what would happen if they did it, they don't do anything. And what I've learned is that at that point, it's the ultimate form of confusion. And I've learned that confused people do what? Nothing. And the last thing I want to say is basically this. So many times when you're thinking about procrastination and stuff, we always talk about we're going to deprive ourselves from, well, I'm going to take this away so I can have this, or I'm going to remove this so I'm going to do that. No, let's focus on what I like to say is guaranteed fun. So let's figure out, okay, well, if I don't do this, then ultimately I'll be able to do this. And I'm excited about this because I'll get to reward myself for steps along the way. And I believe that every process and everything that we go through is indeed that. It's a bunch of small steps that add up to an ultimate bigger goal. And I think that if you employ those types of things, you'll be able to kind of reevaluate and look at the things that you're procrastinating in the areas of your life where you're procrastinating, and take some active steps to eradicate that and move forward.
Well, I think Chris also, and said so eloquently, and I tell you what, I never know where the time goes here, and we're going to start wrapping up. But when I think of mistakes, and sometimes even the word failure, it's all a part of the process. And many times you've even heard that cliche that it's like they really are mistakes. And, you take another take and another take till you nail it. The key, though, is to learn from them. But there's so many things I have learned from Chris Cooper in a very short time frame, not just reading his book, but also seeing him live at our Ultimate Life Summit, which is put on by the Magic Wand Foundation. Go to www.magicwandfoundation.org, and you can learn all about all the great programs, and also visit our Ultimate Life Institute at Excent, that's EXCENT.com. And some of the things, Chris, that I also learned along the way from you, and that's obviously as it relates to the alphabet, is you do have to visualize it, and W, you do have to want it more than anything. And there's so many other ones in there that I really loved, including you talking about even G, give more than you plan to, and H, hang on to your dreams, and L, love yourself first and most, which is one of my other favorites. But if there's any one thing I did learn from you, and we're going to end on here, is maybe you can quickly tell us the keys to igniting the fire inside.
Oh, I think that's a very, very powerful thing. That the key to really igniting the fire inside is, in my opinion, it definitely involves that process of what you just said. The first thing is that I believe that you have to visualize it. You have to see yourself as if you're already there. They used to have this saying, like, you better fake it till you make it. Well, I don't really like that one so much, but you have to envision. And literally, when I talk about vision, I'm talking about the root of that really is a word that's totally different, but it's a word that's just S-E-E, see. See yourself in that position. See yourself wherever you ultimately want to be. So if you're talking about igniting the fire, you got to figure out exactly and visualize where you want to go. Then you want to create a plan. One thing that I use for vision and for plans, I use a vision board. I have a bunch of pictures of different things, different things that I want to acquire in life, different places that I want to go, different lives that I want to touch. And I have all of that stuff like in one place. So every day when I wake up, I look at my vision board, and it kind of gives me a fresh new perspective on where I want to move forward. So So once again, after visualizing, it's definitely actually working on a plan to get there. And then the last piece of that is actually implementation of that plan. And I think so many people create these plans. You create a business plan. You create all these other kind of great and wonderful things. But do you really implement it? You know, and I hope that I'm not stepping on people's toes today, but I want you to really think about that, listeners. You know, you've planned all this stuff. You visualized it. You know you want to get there. But to really ignite the fire inside of you, you have got to actually implement it. And on top of implementing it, you have to have what I like to continuous life improvement. You know, go to seminars, go to places to be refueled, because life will, you know, it's sad to say, life can take a lot out of you, but you want to constantly be really refilling your tank so that way you can continue to get done the things that you really want to do. So that 3-step process of just visualizing what you want to do, planning it out, and then actually implementing that plan is everything that it takes, in my opinion, to ignite the fire inside.
Well said, Chris, and I tell you, boy, I've learned, as I mentioned, a lot from you, and I have no doubt our listeners did today for the half hour here. And again, go to www.executeyourpassion.com. You'll see all the things that Chris is doing. Maybe you can get him as your coach. I know he's obviously big into that, and you want to go hear him speak and see all the things he's doing out there, traveling the country and even the world, helping kids as well. And Chris, hopefully you enjoyed yourself today.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much, Mitch. It's been an awesome opportunity.
Well, I look forward to seeing you again here in beautiful Atlanta. Again, listeners, you're listening to 91.1 on your FM dial,